Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the Era of Injustice. I am your host, Paul Buchanan, and it is always your pleasure. This week I want to discuss something a little off the beaten path. You see, Pain has graciously provided himself in a match against the Deathstalker, but someone, and again I don't know who, has declared that this is a non-title match, despite the fact that the Deathstalker, who is the most dominant force in ERA wrestling, has blown through competition left and right. And for some reason, the board of directors, led by the illustrious president, and I use illustrious very loosely, not that half of you don't know what it means, J.J. Wendell, has decided that Deathstalker is not worthy of a shot at the championship, because he knows that not only will Deathstalker win, but with the championship in my hands, their conspiracy doesn't quite work as well as they would like. But ladies and gentlemen, change is on the way. I am here to bring you a true message of hope and change. An army will rise, and the powers that be will learn their lesson the hard way. You see, I always get what I want. Mommy and Daddy made sure of that, but I don't need someone to give it to me. I'm smarter than everyone here, and I can go and take it myself. So these atrocities, like this non-title joke of a match against Pain, and all the other atrocities that have befallen my men, that decision in Wartburg, where James Cole clearly had Draven Lee beaten in the ring, all of it, this whole Jeff Collette situation, who as far as I'm concerned is still suspended, that will all be remedied soon, and all you're going to be able to do is watch and enjoy it. And I hope you enjoy the ride, because I know I'm going to. So until we meet again, ladies and gentlemen, this has been another Era of Injustice.
Alright, John, here we go this week, Era TV. Wow, Willy D taking on Bobby Dark.
Don't know much about old Bobby. We've seen him, what is this, the third time we've seen him?
Yeah, I think about that, yeah.
Well, we've seen way too much of Willie already this week.
John, do you like anybody?
Yeah, there's a couple. Willie ain't one of them.
But Bobby Dark having to take a break here in a bad size advantage here, and Bobby Dark's going to have to be careful that he don't let that size advantage overwhelm him and get himself hurt in there. Here you see him trying to go after the legs. Yeah, he's trying to kick the legs of Willie, and it looks to be working because Willie is down.
Yeah, you know, don't know about putting old Willie in a headlock though. You know, there's nothing between them ears he's gonna damage. Willie's trying to take it home early, isn't he?
Well, I think that that's a good strategy for most big men to get it over with as quick as possible, because let's face it, they're carrying around a lot of weight, and the longer it goes, the more advantage goes to a smaller guy.
Well, you got a good point there. Now, speaking of big men, what about our main event tonight? Deathstalker, Pain.
I tell you, I'm looking forward to it. Finally, both of those guys getting in there with somebody that has got a similar size, so they're not going to be able to push each other around.
But, you know, keep in mind, non-title.
And here you see Willie going back on the offensive. Whips him off the ropes, and a big clothesline. Almost folded him up right there, John.
About turned him inside out on that one. Now, what's Willie planning here? Now,
I think that was to the stomach, but I'm not sure.
I wouldn't put money on that.
Well, I really didn't see the the ref saying anything to Willie. So.
But you know, he pointed something out. It's the outside of the ring, got the referee's attention. And old Dark's, you know, just laying in those forearms. I think Willie's kind of rocked on that one.
And another forearm. Looks like Bobby Dark's got things going his way right here, but Willie might have just took all he's going to take. And he reverses it and chops him one time, and Bobby Dark's down.
Well, I think those chops just kind of woke Willie up. Here comes Splash.
And he misses it.
Usually he follows that splash up with a bulldog. Can't do that if there's nobody home.
And I don't know if you noticed that, John, but Willie putting one arm up completely throws Bobby Dark off of him. So that tells you the strength advantage that he's got in this match.
Oh, he's wrenching Willie's neck.
And I don't know, that could be a choke, but the referee's got a clear view in there, and he is checking for it.
Look at his hand on his chin, so I'd say it's not a choke, but he is wrenching that neck. Now, I've yet to see a pin like that before.
I really don't know how he would keep Willie down with something like that. I don't know why he even... Now, a smaller man I could see. Why would you even try that on somebody as big as Willie?
He's staying on the neck, though, I've noticed. But Willie's just... He's too big. He's too powerful. I just don't think that Bobby Dark has the strength.
But I tell you what surprises me about Bobby Dark. We seen him last week.
Oh.
And, well, we may not see him next week after that.
No, he got knocked in the next week.
But we seen him last week have a really good showing against Draven Lee, who's been on a hot streak here in air wrestling. And now here again this week, having a decent showing against Willy D.
Oh, he's hitting that big splash and the bulldog.
Oh, that could be it.
I'm pretty sure that's it.
What do we got here?
1,
And
2,
a 3?
3.
Yes. And Wild Willie D is going to be your winner this week, folks. Would you like to see Era Wrestling for free? All you have to do, head over to EraWrestling.com, send us a question or comment, and if we read it on the air, you'll receive a free admission to an Era event. Head on over to EraWrestling.com now.
Hello everybody, Daniel Terry here with Rick Roberts. Good to have you back.
The old high-tech redneck's back. I'll tell you what, the old rednecks never die. We just smell that way. I got to work this Draven Lee. Never heard of him. Young punk.
Well, he's no pushover.
He's not. It's all right.
He's number one contender for television championship.
Oh, really? Well, he better be ready for some old school, because I'm going to do some old slapping. And we're going to see who can walk out of the ring first.
Well, that's what Air Wrestling's got you doing right here tonight, Rick, but there's some other things going on.
Yeah, I come back for one reason, and one reason only. And that's to put the mountain man out of wrestling permanently. I don't want nobody in my way. Whoever steps in my way will go down. I don't care who you are. Mountain man, I'm coming for you.
All right, John, here we got back again this week, Rogue taking on David Michaels. And Rogue had a decent showing for us last week.
He did.
And trying to secure a spot here with Air Wrestling. Got a lot of guys right now that are kind of jockeying for position. Here you see David Michaels taking the offensive. And big elbow puts Rogue down. And I tell you what, David Michaels is a brawler, isn't he, John?
Yeah, that came in handy last week against Deathstalker.
Well, now, speaking of brawlers, I know you just got a chance to see. What do you think about the comments that Rick Roberts had to make about the Mountain Man?
Well, I'm getting the impression. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm getting the impression he don't like Mountain.
No, he don't care much for him. I think that's an ongoing thing. They've been back and forth for, I guess, the last 15 years or so.
I would have guessed 50 years, but
Well, maybe. They may have been feuding ever since they were kids. But, anyway, we got Rogue right here back on the offensive.
he's wrenching in a headlock. You know, I get it. I do. But how often have you seen someone win a match with a headlock?
Well, I think a headlock's more or less designed to give you a little bit of time to gather your thoughts, figure out what you want to go to next, than it is to beat a guy with it.
Yeah, I guess it's a wear down. I mean, you're putting a lot of pressure on, the temple, the neck, however you choose to do it. Everybody has their own techniques, right?
And a near fall for Rogue, John.
Well, I mean, he hit him with that big flying knee lift. And, see now he's checking his airways there, making sure he's not choking on anything.
And a reminder to the folks at home, while you see these tabs on your screen right now for the website, Twitter, Facebook, I want to remind you guys, the TV tapings that you're seeing right now, they're closed to the public, but we are going to be making known, John, here in a very short while, how everybody watching at home right now can be a part of Era TV tapings.
I've heard that. People can, write us on the website, like you just pointed out. We haven't done the Era mailbag in a while. It takes a while to go through a lot of those emails.
But don't let that discourage folks
No.
at home, because we want you to understand that we do go through them.
And if we do read your mail on the air, do get free admission to a live event.
Which we've had a couple already cash in on those. And,
Well, wouldn't you?
well, sure. And we enjoy reading those too. We want to know what you guys think at home.
Well, I don't enjoy reading all of them.
Well, folks, I think John's referring to the fact every now and then there's a few in there that folks aren't too pleased with him or Noah Richards and Payne. So
Just jealous is all it is. I think he caught David Michaels in the throat with that clothesline. And David Michaels might have caught him in the throat with his clothesline.
well, they're both very, very slow to start moving around
If
here.
they're not careful, they both can get counted out.
I'm really surprised that, I don't know what Rogue's been doing for the last 6 or 7 years. It's been that long since I've seen him. But he looks to have stayed in decent shape, and he looks like maybe he's been wrestling somewhere. It'd be hard to imagine he's had that long of a layoff.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so. Going for another splash here. Then
And
there's no
misses
one
it.
home.
And a roll up for
He
David
got it.
Michaels. He got him,
just
John.
He won the match.
He just beat Rogue with a roll up. Your winner, folks, David Michaels. All right, and John, we got some pre-recorded comments from the Mountain Man. We'll be right back.
Rick Roberts, you count my words, buddy. You are going to be put out this time. You won't be walking around to come back. You'll be in a wheelchair this time when I put you out. And that's it. There you have it from the Mountain Man, folks. We'll be right back.
Are you in the woods about where to find Era TV once it goes off the air? Well, don't get angry. We have a solution. Just head over to EraWrestling.com for all the news and information you'd ever want to know about Era Wrestling. And don't forget, we're also on Twitter for all you tweeters out there. So, getting a little happier now? Also, don't forget to check us out on Facebook. Happier now? Thought so. Era Wrestling. We are everywhere. All right, John, and finally, we're going to get an opportunity to take a look at Rick Roberts making, I guess this would be the official return to the ring. And
judging from those comments earlier, Mountain Man doesn't seem to like Rick Roberts either.
And oddly, you know, Rick Roberts not even taking the time to put gear on this week. He shows up at the TV taping and he says, "Give me somebody to wrestle. I don't care who it is." And I tell you what, he went all the way to the top of the tree to get his opponent
And he
here
just
in
went
Air
back
Wrestling.
down from that big cross body.
Yeah, because Draven Lee, regardless of what Rick Roberts may lead you to believe, is no pushover.
No, he's not.
He can beat anybody at any point in time that's wrestling here in Air Wrestling or anywhere else for that matter.
And you know, surprise, surprise, I don't think the fans are really behind old Rick Roberts.
Well, I tell you, I don't think they are either. Rick is one of those guys that really doesn't care what anybody else thinks. He's got a mindset of he is going to put the Mountain Man out of the wrestling business. And to me, from talking to Rick earlier in the interview and personally, I get the feeling he's so bitter because he turned the TV on one week and saw Mountain Man wrestling, and since I guess Rick's not wrestling anymore, or wasn't, he doesn't feel the Mountain Man needs to be either.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. But you notice, you know, there's people that like Mountain Man. There's some that don't. I don't think there's anybody that does like Rick Roberts.
Well, I'll tell you what, John. I'm not one of those people. Of course, a lot of the folks at home know the history. Rick Roberts got me in the wrestling business, you know, a few years ago, and I always had a lot of respect for Rick. I can't sit here and tell you that I've always liked the way he's went about things, but there you see Draven Lee blocking 2 shots and coming back right here, John. But haven't always liked the way Rick Roberts does everything. But I'll tell you right now,
Big scoop.
yeah, he'll tell you what he's going to do, and then he's going to do it unless you're man enough to stop him. And that's just the way it is.
Yeah, I've seen that over the years from Rick Roberts, but I mean, Mountain Man's not much different.
No, I think that's why they can't get along. They're so much alike. They got a similar style in the ring, but they've also got a real similar attitude.
Basically, they look at each other and they see a old, wore-out, dirty mirror, don't they?
Well, you know, it might sound repetitive for us to bring this up again, but I say this to you all the time. Watch what you say, because these wrestlers watch this stuff when we air it. You better really watch what you're saying this time, man. I'm just trying to help you out.
Well, now
These guys right here, some of these other ones, they may let you pass, but these guys right here, they're looking for an excuse to hit somebody.
I don't think Era TV is picked up on old ham radio, so I don't think you're going to worry about Mountain Man.
So what does that mean exactly?
Well, if I had to spell it out for you, he's an old hillbilly. That's what it means.
Well, I mean, he's the Mountain Man, but that doesn't mean he doesn't have current technology, does it? But anyway,
I don't see him walking around with a cell phone and laptops and
no,
tablets.
you're right. I don't think you would be either. And Rick Roberts going to work on the leg of Draven Lee. And I tell you what, I'm kind of surprised Draven Lee took this match. He doesn't know much about Rick, but he's got a big old match coming up for a championship. And
Big spine buster.
Spine buster by Draven Lee. I don't think I've seen that from Draven before.
No, and I don't think...
Wait a minute. In the distance, it looks like someone familiar back there, John. I don't know if you've seen this or not.
Yeah, I see that.
That is not somebody here with the crowd, and he's getting closer.
Yeah, now's not the time for you to be making fun of him
And
like
here-
you did a minute ago.
Yeah, that was all me, huh?
Yeah.
And there he's going to push Draven Lee off the... What's that going to be, John? And he throws him out of the ring. What's that going to mean for this match?
Well, I guess we'll hear in a second.
Well, they're going to say...
There you go.
Rick Roberts' disqualification. Draven Lee's going to be your winner, but here we've got the Mountain Man doing a number on Rick Roberts.
Well, you know that's the only reason he attacked Draven, just so Draven would win.
Oh, man.
Well, he had chest hair a minute ago. He don't anymore. Oh, that right in the throat.
And I'll tell you what, John, these guys, this thing is bitter, and something is going to have to be done to get this thing settled.
Not to take away from this, but we got a big main event coming up right after this break.
Folks, we're going to be right back.
Would you like to see Era Wrestling for free? All you have to do, head over to EraWrestling.com, send us a question or comment, and if we read it on the air, you'll receive a free admission to an Era event. Head on over to EraWrestling.com now.
Try again. Alright, John, here we go. Main event. Deathstalker taking on Pain, and Deathstalker going right after him.
It's almost like a Goliath versus Goliath battle.
You can really say that. These two guys are, oh my gosh, I've never seen Pain backed into a corner like that.
No, me either.
But what I was going to say, these two guys are, no question about it, they are the two biggest guys here in Air Wrestling right now.
My big question is the ring going to hold?
I don't know. I don't know that our crew didn't go in there and reinforce this thing before these guys got in it. But we've made comments several times before these guys doing high impact moves and just about tearing the ring down. So when they start doing them to each other, I don't know if this poor old ring's going to be able to handle it.
Well, when you're as big as Deathstalker there, scratching your nose is a high impact move.
I tell you what, Pain coming in at about 3, he's lightened up. So
yeah.
he's coming in at about, I think 315 or so.
Well, he just dug right in Deathstalker's eyes on that.
Well, you'll have that from Pain. He's not above taking a shortcut, that's for sure.
Well, it's all about winning.
But not taking up for Pain or anything.
He's going for a slam.
Oh man, he got him up too and could not hold him. And
he just lost his balance there.
The point I was going to make right there, John, is Deathstalker's coming in, and now this is a figure that we got from Paul Buchanan, so it may not be completely accurate. Deathstalker came in at 335 pounds, and I don't know that that's not a little light.
Now, is that the right leg or the left leg?
Well, I'm telling you, he doesn't look that close in weight to Pain. Pain looks to be a little more fit, a little more trim, but Deathstalker, he just big, man.
Well, you're not lying there. I mean, everybody can see that. They can see that from space. But you look at him on him. Pain's not intimidated.
Well, I've never seen him get intimidated by anybody yet, and I've known Pain for about the last 12 years or so, I guess. And I tell you what, he is a rough customer himself, and he likes to fight. He likes to get in there and mix it up with a big guy, see what he can do with him. And he's holding his own pretty well right now, John.
Yeah, not many people take Deathstalker off his feet. Doesn't happen often.
Wow.
And I don't think I've ever seen anybody suplex him.
I really don't know right now. He might hurt his back right there. I really don't know right now what the folks here at this taping thinks about this. I mean, they obviously don't know who to cheer for.
No. They kind of go back and forth. They'll cheer one guy for a second, and then they'll boo him.
Well, and there I guess he's choking him. I really couldn't tell from our angle, but it looked like maybe Pain might have been choking the Deathstalker, which you'll never usually hear me say this, but I guess that's good enough for him because we've certainly seen him do it a lot in recent weeks.
Well, I mean, it's all about winning. That's all that matters. And you just see him gouge him in the eye again. I don't care how big you are. I mean, you can't fight if you can't see.
And
He's covering his eyes.
well, now we've seen Paul Buchanan use that tactic with the Deathstalker before. I guess I don't know what that does.
Calms his nerves, I
calms
guess.
him down. I think that's a bit silly, but and I don't know. It may just be that his Payne's shirt might just stink. To be honest with you,
Yeah, that's possible.
Deathstalker coming like that energized him. He just come out of that corner and just about beating Payne limb from limb right here.
Is this what it looks like when he's angry? I mean, I
Well,
thought he was always angry, but
yeah,
is this another level of anger?
I'm telling you, I don't think that you have ever seen anybody do that.
And
to
now
Payne.
he's choking Payne with his shirt. I mean, why is the referee not disqualifying Deathstalker for using a foreign object?
What we're seeing right now could be a preview of a future championship match. Now, of course, now this one's non-title, but this
Now it's
could
time for a
very well.
choke.
Yeah, and we've seen a lot of chokes, but this could very well be a preview of a future championship match because Deathstalker's got to be always considered in contention for it. And of course, Payne is your current champion. And I'll tell you something that's impressing me about Payne right now. Even just from just a month ago, you look at the difference. Well, even the last time we seen Payne was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And you can see a difference in his build. I mean, he is in the gym and, working on his cardiovascular. He's getting more defined, and that shows a commitment to want to hang on to that championship, John.
Not to mention the haircut.
The haircut. Yeah, well,
He's going for a choke slam.
that's what I was just getting ready to make a point. I think he's going to try to pick this guy up. I don't think he can.
He's fighting him off. No, I know he could. Now, Payne could choke slam.
Well, now we've seen him have trouble with a body slam earlier, and a choke slam.
He just lost his balance.
Yeah.
Oh.
I have never seen anybody take Payne down like that with ease. Took him down with ease.
He lost his balance.
What would the weight differential be right here? I guess Deathstalker's got him by what
Quarter ton.
He's got him by about 20, 23 pounds, somewhere around in there. But I'm telling you, folks, that weight that Paul Buchanan turned in today, I'm kind of questioning that. I'm thinking he's a little bigger than that. He may not be, but
I don't see a 20-some odd pound difference here. I mean, I'm pretty sure Deathstalker's meals way more than that.
well, now Payne obviously, he stands in there toe to toe with him size-wise.
Listen to Payne. He's trash talking him. He's cutting jokes. The entire time he's in there fighting.
Well, and that's trash talking, trying to get the mental edge over your opponent, and
Will that really work with that stuff?
well, that's what I was just gonna make a point.
Well, poke him in the eye will.
Yeah, that'll work.
Choking him will.
But I think you're fighting a losing battle if you're trying to play the psychology game versus the Deathstalker. I don't really think he's.
Look at this. Look at this.
And
He has
Draven
no
Lee
business out here.
has just hit the ring, and John, I guess Draven Lee trying to get some revenge over a few weeks ago. We saw Payne involve himself in Draven's match and chokeslam.
All he's trying to do is prove a point.
And
He's trying to prove that he has what it takes to beat Payne.
They're going to call this one a no contest, John. And here Draven Lee's going up top, and what's he going to do right here? Payne don't know where he is, and he's going to hit him with a beautiful crossbody. John, we got to go. We are out of time.